A peaceful and sunny valley, far from the hustle and bustle of Pakistan's big cities. It's hard to believe that just a few months ago, this was a battlefield. The Battle of Bunna pitted some 4,000 Taliban fighters against the tanks and fighter jets of the Pakistani armed forces.
The first fightings come there, the armies and the Talibans. The army was shooting the cars and it's destroy all the cars and bombs, and the people was also killed.
Karim is a student at Peshawar University. Born locally, he is the youngest son of a powerful and respected clan, that of Sultanwaz. But after the Taliban took over Sultanwaz village, the army didn't stand on ceremony. They simply flattened it.
In my village, there was 2,000 Talibans situated in my village. Taliban has come back 3 days ago, but 4 Talibans, it was killed these people. These people go on the hills and shoot him.
Since then, the villagers have vowed to keep the Taliban away. They formed Lashkars, traditional clan militias who preach self-defense. And this morning, they are showing off the pearl of that defense system, an 82mm mortar. It's a gift from the Pakistani army. And these men, the village reservists, are to be in charge of it. This is a prized weapon around here, known for its fearsome effectiveness, if you know how to use it.
There, you put the shell in here and off it goes.
Are you sure it's the right way round?
Oh no, it's the other way around, but, well, anyway, it goes in there.
The ATV.
Oh yes, ATV.
In reality, this weapon is no more than a tube. It has no aiming system, just a score of shells delivered in parts.
That is the head of the shell.
It didn't cost the army much to provide these 30-year-old munitions.
We'd better keep them in the shade, hadn't we?
But while the Sultanwaz Lashkars have never had military training, their combat experience is all too genuine.
Who is this guy?
He is my brother. His name is Aziz.
Okay.
He is fought against Taliban in the hill.
For Aziz, the family warrior, hunting down the Taliban is an obsession.
There are Taliban everywhere in these mountains, and they've captured the village in between those 2 hills over there. But the army regularly pushes them back, and so do we. We'll get the better of them soon. You'll see.
At 34, Aziz was supporting his family by working in the marble industry alongside his 10 brothers. But when the Taliban invaded the region, he went from being a notable to being a fighter. Today, half of the Sultanwaz Lashkars are under his command, a total of 200 men armed and equipped by the government to fight the insurgent invaders.
We fought the Taliban over there. In the first skirmish, we killed 38 of them, and only 5 of our men were wounded. They gathered up most of their dead during the night, but there were still a few corpses on the field. They got eaten by dogs, but I tell you, I won't shed any tears for them.
In a deeply Muslim society such as this one, it's almost unheard of to leave unburied bodies to the dogs. But Aziz's hatred for his enemy is particularly fierce because of what he's lost.
My house. Madrasa. You see the destroyed building over there? That was a Quranic school run by a pro-Taliban mullah. The Air Force came by and the mullah, well, he's still underneath. We really should start clearing all this stuff.
The rest of Aziz's life wouldn't be enough for him to rebuild what he once had here, what passed for a small empire in these parts. And he's in no doubt as to who is to blame.
It's true that it was the army that razed our houses, but it was to get the Taliban out, so for me it's the Taliban's fault. But I'm also angry with the army because they could have sent commandos instead of just bombing. 52 missiles fell here in less than 2 hours, not to mention the artillery.
Now Aziz and his men are doing the commandos' work. Everyone old enough to carry a weapon is mobilized. This drowsy teenager is called Jawed. At 14, he is the Lashkar's youngest member.
I've gone into combat against the Taliban twice with the Lashkars. The Taliban swore that they would come back, so I have to keep guard here with my weapons.
The concept of child soldiers doesn't exist here. Jawed is a Pashtun, brought up in an area where people like to say that the children are born with weapons in their hands.
Andy, explain me.
To load, you pull on this handle, then you just have to press hard with your thumbs, and there you are. You can set the height with this crank and the direction as well.
But Jawed isn't patrolling today. He has other chores.
Now I've got to clear up.
Jawed is certainly a warrior, but he's also the youngest in the group.
Go to the mosque.
It's mid-afternoon in Sultanwaz, and a group of around 10 men leaves the village to go on patrol. They have done this every day since the Taliban invasion. Beyond the stream, there are often hostile encounters. Every week, small groups of Taliban approach Sultanwaz to check up on the place. But since Aziz and his men have been doing their daily patrols, the village's women and children have been able to use the water again.
Okay, boys, from now on we keep our eyes peeled.
It was via these trails that the insurgents attacked 3 months ago. But with the Taliban pushed up in the mountains by the army, they're now being used by the villagers again.
Hello, old man. Everything okay around here?
Yes, everything's okay.
The Lashkars generally get a warm welcome.
It's pretty steep around here, but the good thing is that we're in woodland. By coming this way, we get straight up onto the plateau over there. And apart from these villagers who are our friends, no one can see us coming.
The element of surprise is only relative, though. Aziz knows there are plenty of Taliban informants amongst these shepherds. On the exposed plateau, the patrol doesn't seem overly worried. The mountains where the insurgents are retrenched are still far away, out of range. It's the last break before entering the hostile zone. The sun is still high in the sky, and the men are approaching the site of their most recent skirmish. From this point on, they know an ambush is possible.
Quiet, everyone. Now advance and run.
It was in this open space that Aziz lost a man last month. The patrol has a meeting with this man hidden in the corn. He lives here with his brother, just a few meters away from the mountainside where the Taliban are hiding. The Lashkars fire off a few rounds. They want everyone around to know that they're armed and that they are in charge.
I know it's crazy to stay here, but what else can I do?
The two brothers are regularly threatened by the insurgents, but they have always refused to give up their home and take shelter in Sultanwaz. Today, Aziz will leave them a new gun.
You'll see, he's a good shot.
The present effectively makes the old man a Lashkar, and therefore an enemy for the Taliban. We return to the village. Women have left the stream so the men can wash.
Come on, scrub.
Time to reflect on how things are going.
Our patrols aim to observe people's movements. It's important. Since we've been patrolling, the Taliban have been showing up less often. Local people are still afraid, but now that we're there, the Taliban know it's not so easy for them. What we'd like is to persuade people to tell us who's a Taliban sympathizer, who's helped them. There are only about 20 or 30 Taliban left in the area. If everyone cooperates, we'll get rid of them all in the end.
Revenge is one of the prime values of Pashtun culture, right after hospitality and sharing. In Sultanwaz's battle posts, the men have gathered for iftar, the breaking of the fast. The fruit picked during the patrol complement the meal, that's punctuated by prayers. It's night time, and the muezzin's call has ended. Music and hashish step in to entertain the Lashkars of Sultanwaz. Sitting on their ruins, there's even time to dream of rebuilding.